Hey, how y'all doing? Joe here again from Southern Coastal Cooking. Hope you all are having a wonderful Easter. God bless each and every one of you. I hope you all have had a great day. Want to tune in here and make a video for you this evening as well. Tell you what, y'all, I got something in the mail the other day. Oh, look at this. This is another order from Lobel's. My favorite meat purveyor, the best meat purveyor in the United States as far as I'm concerned. Of Madison Avenue, New York. Remember last time? Had that wonderful cowboy steak. And it was USDA prime, dry aged. Remember how I talked about how wonderful that meat was? And the wonderful marbling in there. And that incredible flavor. What if this? What if I was to tell you there's even some offerings from Lobel's that are even better than that? I'm talking about more flavor. That there's more concentrated, just wonderful, I'm talking about layers of beef flavor, layered with the hints of the beef fat in there, the marbling with the flavors, the butteriness of the beef. And that would be, instead of just the USDA dry aged Black Angus, if we could go to the Wagyu cattle. I'm talking about the best beef in the world. Like in Kobe, Japan, only difference is the same breed of cattle, but brought over here, raised to strict standards, and trying to reproduce. I mean, that I'm talking about beef over there. It can cost you $300 to $400 a pound. You bring it over here, and you still have that same grade, that same cattle. It's just not raised in that exact place. It's not fed exactly the same, but these are fed better than any other cattle in the United States, raised to very strict standards. They have Wagyu beef here in the USA, and not all Wagyu beef is the same, but I'm talking about top grade Wagyu beef here. So that's what I'm trying to look at here today. I've got right here, they sent a Wagyu rib cap. Talking about the best marbling available. Now, what a rib cap steak is, if you ever had a whole prime rib roast, which is your rib eyes before they're cut up. And let's say you cut it up, okay, I'll explain to you. The outer edge of the rib eye, that first band of meat, it's usually just so tender. It has little bits of fat right in between it, but once you cook it, that fat melts down and you have that just wonderful, super tender band. If you took and you cut that band off the whole rib eye before it was cut, the whole prime rib before it was cut into rib eyes, you would have the rib cap, the most tender piece off the rib eye, but you could just serve it and it'll look almost like a flank steak or a flat iron steak, just a wonderful cut, the richest, the most flavorful piece of the rib eye. Excuse me. And that's what we're talking about here today. So, without further ado, get in here to the box. Oh, wow. Look at this, y'all. The Lobel's American Wagyu beef right here. And this is, like I said, this is the creme de la creme. You just look at the marbling on that steak. I mean, just look at that glorious, look at all that. Just perfect marbling. And the beautiful thing about this, it's not just a huge chunk of huge roast or anything like this. This is meant to be savored, and this is the very best. And I'm talking about we'll cook this, slice it thin. You could serve it up as an appetizer, or you could serve it up as a meal with a few garnishments around it. But this is meant to be enjoyed and I'm talking about just relished, to where it's not like you just have this whole huge hunk of beef and you're trying to eat this whole thing yourself. And this is, I want to call it, this is the caviar of beef. Okay, is what we're going to serve here tonight. And I just can't wait to cook this and let y'all just join me in the sampling here of this super duper just American Wagyu beef by Lobel's, y'all. The rib cap. Oh, just wonderful. So y'all please join me in that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to prepare this the best way I know how. It's going to be wonderful, y'all. I've been thinking about how I'm going to prepare this wonderful rib cap tonight. But one thing I want to serve with is a nice spring salad, maybe some nice goat cheese and stuff. I've been thinking about some fresh ingredients we have around here. One thing we have down here in the south is some wonderful blackberries, man. Oh gosh, make some cobblers and stuff with them. Sweet off the vine. And with the blackberries, a bunch of old folks in town, young as well, they make some wonderful blackberry preserves or blackberry jam, especially if you can find a seedless jam. It'd be good for something like this. What I've done, I've taken about 3 tablespoons of nice blackberry jam, okay, and put it right here in my measuring cup. I'm going to take about twice as much of that of some balsamic vinegar. Get a pretty good balsamic vinegar. I'm going to put about 6 tablespoons. 3. Balsamic vinegar. And we'll mix all that up. So I've got that mixing. I also want to add some of our wonderful local honey out of our coast hives, southern coastal hives here. I mean, this is stuff, you know, my dad harvested himself. Add just a little bit of that, maybe about a teaspoon or 2. It gives it such a nice, just sweet, just flavor. I just love what this honey does for it. Just a kiss of it there. That's probably about a tablespoon of honey, maybe at least 2 teaspoons. But that'll give it an extra good little flavor. All right, y'all, I'm going to take that. I've got a little non-stick skillet here. Turn on about medium heat. We're just going to reduce this goodness just for a little bit and get all the jam and everything evened out. Definitely want to get that all out of there. It's wonderful. Then you want to take some good cracked black pepper. Make sure you crack plenty of good black pepper off in here. A couple teaspoons of it. I mean, this fresh black pepper is going to really give it some flavor. A little bit of that in there. And we'll get something to stir it. I use this little roux stirrer here. Whatever, just slowly stir it. I'm going to start off on low heat. Just let all this dissolve, okay, y'all? So I'm just going to let this thing stir here, or you can just stir it with a spoon. You just don't want to let it burn. I've got it on medium-low heat. Just let all this dissolve. All right, so it's just been a minute or so here. You can see how everything's smoothed out. And we'll turn it down. You know, it's just starting to steam. Now, by the way, if you want one of these, I'll put a link to where you can get one in the description box down there. But anyway, just let this this stir is great for stuff like this. Let this stir a few more minutes. Not going to really make like the syrup out of this, but I'm going to reduce it somewhat. But y'all see how it's starting to kind of spatter up a little bit? That means it's getting thicker. It's thickening up. That's what we're looking for. I'm going to go about 2 more minutes on this. Then I'm going to turn the heat off. If you're just going to use this as a sauce for the meat, it'd be great about this point. What I would have done at first is throw a little bit of thyme, a little bit of rosemary in here. And right now I would probably turn my heat off and start putting in some cold butter, really thicken the sauce up and finish it off. It'd be a blackberry balsamic reduction. We're actually going to make a salad dressing out of this later, so we're going to take this reduction, let it cool down, add some olive oil to it, thin it out, and we can use a little bit on the beef. It's not too bad, but I don't want anything to overpower that wonderful beef, y'all. So what we're going to do is it's mainly use this as a salad dressing, so I do want to reduce this a little bit, like you see how it is right there. Just get a little bit thicker, and I'm fixing to turn off here in just a second. We'll let it keep stirring and let it just cool. Meanwhile, as well over here, y'all, I've got the Kobe beef rib cap, or not the Kobe, I'm sorry, the Wagyu. I've got it unwrapped. I'm letting it just bloom right here on the countertop on a little small little protective sheet there to keep everything up off the countertop. And just let that kind of come up to room temperature, bloom there just a little bit. You see how thick the reduction's gotten here. I'm going ahead and turn the heat off. We're going to let this continue to stir, thicken up, just cool off. And that'll be wonderful. We'll make the dressing out of. As I turn the heat off, look how thick that's gotten. That's just what we want to see. That means it's cooled up. That's fine. We'll go ahead and turn the stirrer off. Let that just sit there and continue to cool. Y'all know that our vinaigrette and blackberry reductions had a chance to cool down. What I like to do with all my salad dressings and vinaigrettes, I like to take a good hot French Dijon mustard and put about 2 tablespoons with this measurement of dressing in here. And like I said, this is a French recipe, Dijon mustard. It's got a little heat to it. I just think this gives such a good, Wonderful little kick. Man, it's really going to set it off here. I'll add about a half a cup of virgin olive oil, extra virgin. And then we'll find something to start with. Try to give it a stir here. This is going to be wonderful. Go ahead and just mix it up as much as we can in here. With no heat now. I'm going to transfer this over into something like this little Pyrex deal so we can pour it in a jar in a minute once it gets a little bit better mixed. I just want to be able to get all that reduction out of here. It's going to be really, really good, y'all. Fantastic. I mean, all that goodness just come on out of there. Just what we want. Alright, so we've got this all mixed up really good, y'all. Tasted it. It tastes perfect to me. I don't think it needs anything really. We'll transfer this to the squeeze bottle. Y'all, I'm back over here to the beef cap, or to the rib cap, Wagyu. As far as seasoning this piece of meat, y'all, I'm just going to leave it in all its glory right there. I mean, this is a beautiful piece of meat. I don't think it really needs any seasoning. You could put a little kosher salt or something like that on there if you wanted to. But I am actually going to be cooking it on a salt slab. So I don't think it's going to need any salt. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil on there. Just on the outer side. Just to give it a little bit of oil right there. Just to help on the surface. You know, that's going to be about it. I mean, this is just gorgeous, beautiful piece of meat. We don't want to impart any. I mean, this is just so full of flavor, y'all. This is just wonderful. So I'm just going to, like I said, put a little bit of this olive oil on here and just leave it just like that. But y'all, now I'm getting the grill ready. I have a preheated to about 500-degree block of salt here. Go ahead and scrape any little particles off that may be on there. And we're going to get that super, super hot. It's about 800 degrees. We'll flip it over. We're going to come out here with the rib cap Wagyu, y'all. And we're just going to sear it right there on that salt. It's just going to be beautiful. It's wonderful. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm just so excited about this. I mean, it's going to seal in all that flavor right there inside that Wagyu piece of beef. And then it's just going to be a flavor party, y'all. Y'all just wait and let's go ahead and get this thing up to temp. I'm going to let it sit in there for about 10 minutes. Alright, y'all, now that the salt block is heated up for about 10 minutes or so on that side, we're going to flip it over. We're going to get the steak on there. Let me talk to you a little bit about salt block safety, though. It's real important that you heat a salt block up gradually like I did in the oven. Start out about 200 degrees, because especially down here in the south, you got to get all the water out of it, because if the water gets trapped in there and it builds up a lot of steam, causing them to explode. Another thing, you always want to buy a high-quality salt block. I purchased all my salt blocks up until now from Posh Salts. So it's a great place, good high quality stuff, okay? Then you always want to make sure you have some good gloves. I've used these grill gloves. I mean, I've tried all different kind of gloves with the salt, but these are my favorites to use as far as, you know, with salt and stuff like that, because these have it's just like a fire suit insulation. You've seen me use these throughout my salt videos, and I'll even put a link down here in this video where you can get these as well. But very important, use some heavy gloves. Be sure that your salt is gradually heated, okay? Another thing you may worry about is your steak getting too salty. I have a whole series on cooking with salt. If you can cook hot and fast on salt and dry, you're not going to transfer much salt, just a little bit. The reason I like using salt and something like this, it gives us the perfect little bit of flavor profile of the steak, and I don't take much of a chance of burning a thin steak like this. You know, this steak is thin compared to this huge cowboy steak I cooked, but it just has tons of flavor, okay? So what we want to do is flip this piece over right here. So we get the ultimate heat right over here on the other side, right? So we're searing hot. I'm going to go ahead and get my steak. I've wiped most of that olive oil off, because olive oil does have a lower flash point. It could burn. So I wiped most of that off. I just want a little bit on there. That also helps to penetrate against getting too much salt on your meat. Okay, having a little bit of oil. I'm going to go ahead and put this steak down here. And I know this steak's going to be a little bit too long for the salt block. That's okay. You'll see it'll shrink up some. That's fine. It'll help from overcooking the ends. So let's go ahead and let that steak go. I don't want to really chance any more than about 3 minutes aside on this guy, y'all. And this is some serious meat here. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my timer. We'll go with it, and I'll tell you what, this is gonna be wonderful. Set a stopwatch for about 3 minutes now, and oh wow, we're gonna turn it over here in a minute. And y'all remember, like I said, guys, it's important that you gradually heat your salt, and when you put a piece of meat on a flaming hot surface like this with salt, if you don't have a bunch of liquid, you're just using the fat, like that thin layer of oil and the fat that's in this steak, you don't have to worry about taking on too much salt. So y'all, this is going to be just perfect here. Everything's just wonderful. I see how the edges are hanging over the edge just a little bit. I'm telling y'all, the steak's going to shrink up just perfect right. I think this is going to be the perfect fit. We'll have a great cook. You could not have a better piece of meat on this grill right now. I mean, this is really, really the best of the best. The Lobels. I mean, last time they sent me the cowboy steak, and we got to try just a huge honking just piece of USDA prime dry aged. But right now, what we're trying, I mean, we are trying, like I told earlier, the caviar beef or the foie gras of beef. Just the very, very, very rich. I mean, I'm just super flavorful stuff here that not many people in their lifetime would say they've tried. And this is just the best of the best of American Wagyu. So we're just going to let this one go about a minute more, and then we'll go ahead and turn it. And we'll see how wonderful it's caramelized up on that side with the block. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get it to turn on this steak. It's going to be wonderful, y'all, I'm telling you. Look at that. I mean, look at the caramel. Look at the crust on that steak. Oh, my word. That is just gorgeous. And that's what I'm talking about, how this salt does. It just helps to seal in the right flavor. And it just has that wonderful brown mahogany crust. And that's just what we want on a steak like this. We're not burning anything. And we're just doing perfect. Oh man, this is just great, y'all. This is wonderful. So anyway, we're going to go about 3 minutes on this side as well. Y'all, while this steak is cooking, look, I'm just poking, I mean, just the juice and oh man, the tenderness that's coming out of there. I mean, that is just gorgeous. Like I said, I'm fixing to take this thing off. I definitely want a rare on the inside, but man, we got about a minute more, maybe a little bit less, and we're going to take this thing off. It's going to be beautiful. We'll let it rest for about 10 minutes. All right, so we've gone about 3 minutes or so on this side. I'm going to transfer off the salt on this gorgeous, I wouldn't want to, what if I lost that? On my gorgeous Pro teak cutting board here. I'm going to bring that inside. Y'all, we're just going to let it rest over on that board. Another quick cleanup tip, y'all, you can do with your salt is, see, after you pull the steak off of it like that, I like to go ahead and flip it again, let it sit here on the hot coals, pretty much char all the oil, the grease off of that side, and it'll clean up a whole lot easier. You can get it with a razor blade or something like that in the morning. That's a good little tip there. Steak's ready. I'm going to go ahead and mix up the salad and these greens. I'm going to take a tip from John over there at Big Meat Sunday. He said get you some good goat cheese, something like that. And I see him using goat cheese a lot, man. And it's just so creamy and extra good on these salads, especially when you're using, well, he actually used it on lasagna the other night. Just, oh gosh. But anyway, get you a good goat cheese. And if you can, find you something local. And this wasn't local, but this is good stuff. Go ahead and just cut you up some of this. I mean, this is fine. Just make it some thin slices. And this will go well on that salad, especially with those vinaigrettes and all that stuff. Y'all, so our steak has had a chance to rest here. Put a little piece of foil over it so we can get that off. And we'll go ahead and cut into this wonderful piece of meat here. Let's look at that. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm just so excited about this. So what we're going to do here, let me try to get you down a little bit better shot here. Sorry about that. The lighting's kind of bad right now. I'm going to try to come in here at an angle. Let me something to hold this with. Excuse me, like I said, it's coming here at an angle and just make some slices across the grain and just see how, look at that, y'all. Look at that. Is that not just glorious? I mean, I'm not even, look, 2 fingers on this knife right here. Look at that. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. I mean, you can still see almost the marbling in there, even though it's cooked. There's that candy beef fat in there that's just left along with it's just like a golden, oh, just nothing but flavor in the beef. It's just absolutely amazing, y'all. That is outstanding. Now we have this wonderful Lobel's rib cap Wagyu steak. We're going to serve here along with some greens. Oh man, just fresh greens. I've got some blackberries. Oh wow, we've got some of this goat cheese. I mean, this is just going to be outstanding right here. I mean, just the service right here on this protein. I mean, you could serve it right on that if you wanted to. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and make a plate, and we're going to taste this. I just can't stand any longer, and this is just some gorgeous stuff here, y'all. I figured it'd be very, very nice. Serve it with some really good saffron rice. Like I said, we're gonna take some of these greens here, put those around the saffron rice. Give us a little bit of a salad here on the backside, and celebrate that all with some greens. And just, oh wow, give us that good, nice, fresh, the crunch. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Okay, what we've got here, I've got my fresh green salad. We've got the goat cheese. We've got the blackberries. I've got the saffron rice. I've got some of this wonderful American Wagyu from Lobel's. I'm going to come in with some of this vinaigrette that we made for the salad. Remember, it's just a wonderful blackberry vinaigrette we're used to in the summertime down here in the South, Mississippi. And this is just going to give it some beautiful flavor. Just caramelize it there. It's just got that caramelization. And also got the reduction of the balsamic vinegar. That taste of those fresh, oh wow. Blackberries, this is just going to be gorgeous. It's really going to set this dish off, y'all. Alright, y'all, there's nothing else to do now but just give it a taste. I really can't wait. I am so excited to try this Lobel's American Wagyu. Oh wow, and this is just gorgeous here. Tom, we'll take one of your knives here. Oh yes sir, it's queen steel. Get right to it. Look at the beautiful marbling on that steak. Oh wow, this is just, it's gonna be something else, y'all. I get one more bite. I'm sorry. Let's see. That's just amazing. Y'all, that is the most exquisite tasting beef. It's just, there's so many little layers of flavor there. You get that steak texture, and then it's just a flavor of the buttery, the nutty, buttery, savory flavor, and a little bit more texture. It's just so tender. It is. It's that exact bite you get when you get the best ribeye you've ever had, the best prime rib, and right on the edge, like I said, the rib cap, when it's just, the meat's almost about to fall apart. That's like this is, except there's more flavor in this because you've had all that marbling. And I mean, you got that wonderful just, oh wow, I mean, it's unbelievable. You saw me, I didn't put anything on this piece of meat as far as salt, pepper, anything like that. It's just it is how it is, just all natural. Had a little bit of salt from the block. That's just a kiss there on the outside. Absolutely outstanding. There's a symphony of flavors that comes through there, y'all. This truly is, I mean, the best 3 bites of beef I've taken. I mean, unbelievable how tender and that you can render a steak this tender so quickly. You saw it just cooked out there for about 6 minutes, and it's just super, super tender. Out of that little thin steak, I really thought it was going to draw up and kind of get tough. When it didn't, it has so much of just the marbling in there, and just the quality, super, super high quality of beef that it actually held, and just super, super tender. This is something, it's not an everyday thing by any means. This is a real treat, y'all, and I really suggest you try it. If you have a party or something like that, serve this up. You can cut it real thin like this, and you may go a little ways. And it's just like an hors d'oeuvre. I mean, you have it, along with something like this, with this salad, with this goat cheese, with the fresh fruit and stuff like that. You can just mix everything up and just be absolutely, absolutely wonderful. I mean, this stuff is amazing. I've never, I've said I've eaten a lot of steaks in many nice steak restaurants, but never come across something quite this tender with this much flavor profile without any additives to it, really. Just pure beef. It's almost like a wonderful carpaccio. Just beautiful, wonderful flavor, y'all. And you've got to visit Lobel's. I'll put a link down there. Y'all really need to try this. Happy Easter, everybody. God bless. Thank y'all so much for watching. Please like my videos and sub my channel. Thanks again, y'all.